Obviously, my box says Super Mario McKinley, but I'm a little taller than him and a little bigger. He is currently flying. He's leaving Sao Paulo right now. I believe that's how you say it. And he would not be able to be, obviously streaming during the call. So he contacted me and Terrence, and obviously, getting input from other tab team members as well that are present. But he has some content for us to discuss. He gets really excited when he goes out of town. So I'm here to host the call today. My name is Stephen Crawford, 2.5 Global Expansion Team member, been a part of the business now for 2 years and 3 months, I believe it has been now. And one thing that I really want to touch on today, and what Super really wanted me to talk about today, was opportunity. Being that this is a supervisor call, and most of the people that are, take the time out to be on this call are people who really want to excel in the business, and they want to know how to move, and, whether it be fast or at their own pace. Everybody is wanting to know how to build an organization, and that's usually the main question is, how do you grow and how do you build? And he mainly asked us to host the call because we have quote unquote moved at a a little bit faster rate. If you all don't know, like I said, I've been in the business 2 years. We did global expansion team in 11, fully qualified in 11 months, active world team in 5.5 months. So. And the reason we talk about this stuff is to realize where he's at right now. What the information that he wanted me to relate to everybody is he's in Brazil right now, and he said they had an event for supervisors. And he said if we anywhere in the U.S. try to put on an event that was supervisor only, we might get lucky if we get 2,000 people in the room, and that'll be you have to be in like one of the larger areas, maybe like a Florida or L.A. or Texas or something like that. You may luckily get 1,500 to 2,000 people in, a room. But he said out there they had an event and they had roughly 10,000 supervisors in the event. And he said they're out there, they're hungry. Average income a month where he was in Brazil in that area was roughly $200. A family income is roughly like around $200 a month. So, and he says the average volume point for a supervisor in I believe he was speaking. I know you're staying in Sao Paulo, but I believe he was speaking there as well. But he said the average volume is about 50 to 60 volume points for a supervisor. And people were having to do consumer groups of 40, 50, 60 just to hit their 2,500. So he was saying we pretty much have it easy. And me, I'm always subjective. I'm always, got to make sense of everything. And that's just how I am and how I have to be. And I understood it. And I believe the thing is, and a lot of times we leave out an important factor, an important key, which would be making the decision to actually want to be successful in this business. Now, I believe as leaders, a lot of us don't ask our people, and we don't get that confirmation that somebody actually wants to be, change their life with this company. And I know Super gets excited when I talk to him, and he's just like, we ain't working. He's like, nobody really wanted it, he gets rolling sometimes. And so, and I just like to be a voice of reason sometimes. And I just, what I realize is not every single person, like there's 25 people on here. Not all 25 people, really truly want to be, a president's team member. They'd be okay if they got there. That'd be cool if they reached that level. But not everybody is willing to do those, those sacrifices that you have to do. Not everybody is willing to, miss out on important events and things like that in order to make it to, even tab team level, which requires a lot of sacrifices and a lot of commitment, which I'm pretty sure, like, Terrence and, I believe I only see Terrence and Clear on here, but I'm pretty sure they can attest to it. It's a lot of sacrifices, even for us to get to global expansion team. There was a lot of things that we had to sacrifice to get here, a lot of commitments that we had to, and we didn't even know that it would work. So and there's a certain level that you have to ask your people, and us being leaders, we have to ask our people and get that confirmation that, hey, do you really want to do this? Is it something that you really want to do? Or you're just cool being a member, or you're just cool, earning your 50%, or you're just cool, at the active world team level or get team. Some people be cool at active world team, they'll be fine there. They make a lot of retail money, and, they get a little check in the mail a month, and they're cool with their job. Like, that's fine. People can do that. That's the company. Mark Hughes didn't make the company for everybody to get the president's team. He gives you the option. You have the option to make it, but it's only 1% for a reason. I'm big into making sense of things, and the tab team to be a very, very, very small percentage of the company, and president's team to be not even 2% of the company. It is an eye opener to realize that not everybody is really wants to get to that that ultimate level. So for everybody kind of has to sit back and ask themselves, do I really want to become this member? Do I really want to do the work to get flown to Brazil and then come back and then get flown to Trinidad and Tobago, then get flown to the East Coast to do an LDW? Do I really want to do the work that's required for that? Do I really want to do the work that's required to, have financial freedom? And that's what we talk about a lot. We talk about a lot of people don't know the opportunity that they have. And I really think it's because, a lot of people in America and, usually us here, we get comfortable. We're comfortable with, whether we have jobs or, whatever it is, we get comfortable. And when times get hard, people tend to not want to stay. I've had a lot of people in the last 2 years that I know that are friends. They told me that they're in it to the end. They're in it and, they're Herbalife forever. And then, 6 months later, when it's a quote unquote, winter, they're gone. And for me, it really gets hard to, I guess, really believe what somebody says. So, like we always say, you don't judge a tree by the fruit that it has a potential to bear, judge it by the actual fruit that it bears. So, in order for us to really understand the opportunity, hold on, I think somebody's unmuted. Everybody make sure that you're muted. But for us to understand the opportunity, we really have to be real with ourselves and understand what's possible. I mean, look at our leaders. Look at, the things that people do for Garen Jones when he goes out of town. Look at the things that people do for Super Mario. He's probably, 3 years ago, he never imagined himself in this position, being, recently incarcerated and all of that stuff. But one thing I'll say, and before I, give the floor to, any other tab member that wants to chime in on actual opportunity and what you have to do to sacrifice, a lot of people want to know how to build an organization. And for me, I've went through a lot of ups and downs, as I'm sure a lot of you have, and I've had a lot of people quit. One thing that I noticed and one thing that I really had to start doing was taking a step back and realizing people are going to funnel through their own vision. They're not going to always follow your path. They're not always going to want to do, like you want to do. And, you may have people quit on you. And I think that's where we lose a lot of people. I know I have a lot of people personally, when things get rough, people tend to want to run away from the business and, or they get discouraged that they can't build a team. And I literally, I have maybe over the last couple of weeks, I've had people not even in my organization, but people saying it's impossible to build a team when it's not. It's not impossible to build a team, but look how long you've been a part of this business. They call it herbal life. It's a lifelong journey, and you're worried about building a stable, huge team in 6 months. You're worried about comparing yourself to somebody else who may have a huge team. They may just have the chips may have just fell right for them, and they may have gotten a big team in a year. They may have gotten to tab team in 2 years, which is fast. They may have gotten a whole bunch of supervisors right off top. You don't know what the situation is, but the chips just may have lined up for them perfectly. Like the chips just fell into place for him. He had Kyra, then I came along, and he had his brother before that, and they started, getting on a roll, and then, Terrence came along. We all came along at the same time. So the chips just laid, they were right there for him. And what he did was presented us with a vision of opportunity. A lot of us want to force our people to do things. A lot of us want to, I can't expect everybody to make it up the marketing plan as fast as I did, because it was some crazy stuff, and I really don't even know what I did to do that. But I can't expect everybody else to just automatically figure it out like that. Because for me to have the expectation of somebody make a supervisor in 3 weeks when the average supervisor takes 3 to 5 months, I can't have that expectation. I can't expect every single person I sign up to make it to the tab team in less than a year. I can't do that. And I can't push anybody and get mad at anybody or even talk down to people, talk to them and push them in the direction that they don't want to go in, because everybody is not like myself. And you have to let people find their own journey. I mean, there was times where I was like, man, Super ain't gonna do nothing for me. Like, he's not gonna tell me nothing. Like, he's not gonna sit down and go over nothing with me. Well, I better get in this book. I better read this book. Or I better go to this event and I better figure out how to coach if I really want to do this. Because I saw his check. I saw Garen's check. I see the cars. I see the trips that they get to go on, and I'm looking at my bank account and I'm like, something got to change. So it's really, we have to realize your people are going to do what they're going to do regardless. If they come to you actually for information, then you give them the information. If not, you wait for them to be encouraged. You do your job. You use Word Talk, and you get them to the bigger picture. You get them to events. That's all you really have to do. If you want to build a big team, continuously do it. I remember last year looking at Super Mario used to post the snapshots of Top Volume before he actually did the printout. And it showed how one time it showed how many supervisors he had. And I think it said something like 390 supervisors or something crazy. And just to think, the Top Volume that he had posted only had 20 people over 2,500 volume points. So look at the ratio. 25 people out of 300 were able to do 2,500 volume points. And we have like 40 people, and we're complaining, if we have like, 5, 10, 15 supervisors and we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, or we're not moving fast. You have to continuously bring in people. You have to continuously funnel people through the system. That's what he's trying to get us to realize is we get a few people and we expect to, make president's team with those people. And instead of, continuously working, it's a continuously working process. You can move as fast as you want or whatever pace you decide you want to move at. But it's really about understanding the opportunity, and it's really about understanding the work that it takes and the longevity. I'll always remember, like we always talk about Amber Wick, and she'll forever be an example of me to not rush, because her and her husband sat at World Team for 6 years. If any of you all have heard her story at one of the LDWs last year, her and her husband were World Team for 6 years. 6. And my thing is, I got people talking about they ready to quit or they really don't want to do it if they're, World Team for 6 months. That's somebody who really is about the life. To have everything be contingent upon them doing, personal consumption and getting clients, and that's the way of them surviving in the business, was them doing that for 6 years. 6 years of getting new clients was when everybody says we can't get new people. It's just work. That's all it is. It's everyday action and it's everyday work. Whether you're working on, building personal volume, or you're working on building an organization, or you're working on yourself, it's just an everyday action. So I know I didn't want to be the only person, on here talking, but I know that's the information and the message that I really wanted to relay to everybody based upon, the things that Super has been talking about recently. I know Terrence is driving, but I'm not sure if you're able to speak.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I got something, I guess. Hey, everybody, Terrence Hawkins. What's up?
You coming on here guessing?
Oh, Terrence Hawkins, you guys, Global Fashion Team. Been in the business 2 years now. Steve said something real interesting, and I think that a lot of us may think it sometimes. He said that, if you decide to quit on us, what I'm saying, as being the tab team members and whoever your uplines are and all of that stuff, just keep in mind, you're never quitting on us. You're never quitting on your upline. If you decide to quit for whatever reason, however crazy that is, I think that's bananas to actually quit, because this opportunity is the best ever. But if you quit, you decide to quit, you're quitting on yourself. A lot of us have worked. We've held down jobs for years. We know what it's like. We don't like it. That's why we decided to do this. For some reason, people kind of check out and they revert back to what they were doing before. It really makes no sense, but it happens. But I just want you guys to know that if you quit, you're quitting on yourself. You're quitting on all the potential that you have, the potential that we know you have, the potential that your family and friends know you have, and all of your clients that you've already brought in. Those are the people that you're really quitting on. You're not quitting on your upline. Now, I don't know what everybody wants. Everybody, like Steve said, may not want to get the president's team. I know that's definitely in the cards for me, definitely. And I'm going to make sure I do what's necessary to get there. But what he was talking about, what Super was telling us about with the, you know, the average income out there in Brazil being $200 a month and all of that, like, it's really, really crazy. And we have to understand that organization, we're just really blessed all the way around. The organization that we happen to be in, we're blessed for that. The company that we actually have the pleasure to be in, we're blessed for that. And the opportunity. You know, the state that a lot of us are in, I know some of us aren't in Cali, but the ones of us that are in Cali, oh my God, super, super blessed. Like, we got everybody out here, right? Everybody wants to come to Cali. And everybody that's on this call and everything, we got a great opportunity to know all of the leaders and everything that are doing just crazy things in all the United States and being flown out to Brazil and being flown out to Trinidad and Tobago. And Jonathan Webber was flown out to Brazil too. You know what I'm saying? He's part of the team too. And everybody's going everywhere and doing all these amazing things. And we got the pleasure of being in their presence and learning from them and being able to contact them if we need to. But the thing about it is we want to make sure we earn the right to be able to ask these people questions. You know, it's like, you know, we love it. I know I love it when we have members, supervisors in our business, and they do 5K. You know what I'm saying? 5K is a really big number in perspective of continuing to do it. But if you were just going to do something one time, 5K is not a really big number. It can be done because people do it all the time. But the consistency factor is dope, right? But overall, it doesn't matter if somebody even does 5K for a year and they fall off. What does that year mean? We plan on being alive for more than a year. We plan on being in the business for more than a year. So what does your year of 5K mean? It doesn't mean anything if you don't continue. And then it's like, how dare you bring in these clients, help people change their lives and everything, and then fall off? What is that doing for them? We got to understand that we involved in meddling in people's lives right now. If we aren't ready to take on that responsibility, we might as well not do it at all. You know, and while you don't quit on your uplines, it does, like Steve said, you know, it can get kind of like, oh, man, to where it's like, yeah, I'm not believing anything anybody says anymore. You don't want to be like that. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to be helped when you say you want to do something. That just means that you need to be open and receptive to any type of criticism. It's going to be positive criticism or anything that you're told from the uplines or your sidelines or anything, because it's all going to be to help you get to where you said you wanted to be. That's all it is at the end of the day. So again, I don't know where you guys want to be. I hope that everybody on this line gets to wherever it is they want, you know, whether that's tab team, active world team, you know, mill team, president's team, or, you know, beyond that. It's just stick around. I mean, like Steve said, the Amber Wick thing, man, I always talk about that story. Like, that's crazy. But I look at where it is now. 6 years, they were a world team. Now, 10 years and something in the business, they're 30K president's team. That's $100,000 a month. So which one of us on this line ain't gonna be willing to do 6 years to be at $100,000 a month? Stop it. Stop it. So we just got to get real with ourselves and just understand that there is no such thing as quit. Like, you're literally quitting on your life if you quit this business. But that's all I got, you guys. I'll go ahead and shoot it back over to Steve.
Cool. Appreciate Harkless. I know I see All Day and Clear on. If you guys have anything to add on today's topic or anything to say to the people about Crystal does. Well, all right then. Let's hear from. It's right there. I'm looking at the box. It says, you know, Crystal does. So hey, Clear.
Hello everyone. I'm Crystal Clear. Been a member for 2 years. Get team. with my wonderful husband, Marcus. And I'm actually sitting there just digesting what you and Terrence are saying. A lot of what you're saying is hitting different elements for me in my in our team. And for me personally, and also, you know, leadership parts of the business. We don't really talk about the challenges that come along with us as we're leaders, and some of the challenges that help us bond and cement the relationships with our uplines, and help us, and those that the challenges that we go through that help us be better leaders. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is stick it out, don't quit, and really grow through the challenges, because it doesn't matter if you're doing Herbalife. I have a corporate job, and a lot of the things that happen in my Herbalife business have helped me in my corporate life. And me trying to figure out how to be the best person that I can be and provide the income that I want for my children and my household helps motivate me in this business. And every STS that happens, every LDW that happens, every extravaganza, I've been to 3, every single one that I go to, I meet people that continue to light the fire under me and tell me, hey, guess what? In a couple of years, I could possibly leave my corporate job and do my passion, law, as a recreation instead of having to work 12-hour days, 5 days a week, and do Herbalife on the side. Like, how, and making $100,000 a month, like how amazing can that be? You want to be an actor. How about you take the jobs that you want to take instead of dancing as a fruit in the background to pay the rent? You know, you don't have to take those jobs. You can now be selective in your acting career because Herbalife has allowed you to live the life that you want to live. I mean, it doesn't matter what your passion is outside of Herbalife. Herbalife can make that other passion possible, but you cannot quit. And so I'm just listening to you and Terrence, because you have two slightly different approaches to the what's behind the don't quit attitude, but both of them are 100% applicable for me. And I appreciate what you're saying. I'm definitely going to continue to digest it. I hope you guys took notes, because they both have very great perspectives on why you shouldn't quit, the importance of not quitting. I just appreciate you both. That's it.
Thank you very, very, very much. Just like she was saying, that, perspectives are just different from everybody. And a lot of people, I guess it's hard to relate. A lot of us may not relate to Super, because we don't really know, like, I guess if he had any struggles or problems, or you don't know, my struggles and my issues. And like I tell people all the time, they think maybe because I was buff all the time, I've been buff my whole life, that, I remember actually talking to Garen. And Garen had an assumption of me. He's like, oh, the business comes easy to Steven because he's always been, kind of ripped and whatnot. I'm like, or and all. Did you not see my before picture? Like, I just recently got like this, and I really don't even know how to accept it right now because it's new to me. So, it's really like something that was inside of me that was just waiting to come out. And I was making all the wrong mistakes for my first year in the business. Some people aren't even a year in the business yet, and you won't even experience the mistakes that I made for a little while. I used to do Ustreams. I used to have one viewer on. It used to always be Rhonda. Every Sunday I had calls. I created a team group. I was the only person talking in the group ever. And even I forced myself kind of to make Active World Team. I was like on the phone to like 11:59. It was like somebody put an order in, and that's what kind of business I had for the first year. It was not easy. Things it just never fell in place. But every time something failed, I was like, okay, cool, I'm on to something else. Because this business, there's like a million different ways to be successful. But if you fail at one or two and you quit, you won't even understand what these President's team members had to go through. If you get around a President's team member, we all have Super Mario to ask him. I implore you to ask him, what did you do that didn't work? Or what did you do that took a little bit of time to work? Because I was there when we had a fit camp of 12 people. I was there when we only had, people coming through the door, once a week. And the other workout would just be coaches. I was there for all of that. And now I'm here for a 200 or 152, however many people we get on a weekly basis. 20 new people every single, class. I was there for all of that. But guess what happens if we would have quit? Guess what happens if Super would have stopped doing, what he was doing? Then there is no me. There is no Terrence. There is no resurgence of all clear. There is no this stuff doesn't happen if he stops. So then don't think about, like Terrence said, you're quitting on yourself, but think about the people that you're not even giving the opportunity to in the future to change their life. Because had Super not changed his life, I'm not sitting here today. I'm back home in Wisconsin still trying to figure out what I'm going to do in my life. So you have to think about not only the people you have now, but for the people that you're going to hold for in the future. So I'm not sure if All Day had anything. Is he over there dancing? I'm not quite sure what that's about. I don't know if you had anything to add. And I think you're the only. You got to say hi to the people at least. You the only tab member ain't said that.
Hey, what's going on? Marcus All Day here, Global Expansion Team. My wife pretty much summed it up. She said I talk too much, so I'm going to just get off on that. I hope you guys are killing it right now. Qualify for this 5 gets 5. Do it now. Even if you don't have a team, you qualify for the 5 get 5 so that your team, whenever you get them, you're like, yo, I did this for you guys before I even had you, right? Because you got to get that active world team. That's all I got.
Cool. So it's been 30 minutes. What I'll do right now is I will open it if anybody has any questions, comments. Terrence gonna text me talking about asking Nakia. Nakia can unmute or something. She got something to say. Nakia, where you at? Where your box? I don't know where your box. Oh, there it is. I'm unmuting you. What's up, Nakia? What's up, Nakia? Talk to us.
Hello, everybody. Nakia Roots, Global Expansion Team. I just wanted to say, Steve, you made a comment about someone expressing that they would not be able to create a team. So I just want to remind people that everyone started without a team, and to utilize your sidelines, because we are a team, utilize your sidelines for motivation until you build your dream team. So just FYI, just a reminder that we're all here to help each other, and you will get that team that you want. Just use your sidelines as motivation. That's it.
That's definitely a good point too, because that's what I did. It wasn't really. I didn't even like. I tell people all the time I didn't like Super for a while when I first started in this business, and I was looking at Kyra, how Kyra was running business, and if you all know Kyra 2 years ago, Kyra was not to be played with 2 years ago. I mean, I was looking at his success and the fact that he knew everything. He knew the answer to everything. If you know now, he's just like that intellectual kind of individual. He knows the answer to everything. He was like top volume by like 5,000 volume points every month, like leaps and bounds in front of people. He was doing like 16,000 every time Super had a promotion. I was texting him like, dude, what's the point of doing a promotion if we know Kyra is going to win every time? So that's a great point, like using your sidelines. Because that's definitely what helped me in the business for sure. So that's a great point, Nakia. Thank you. So anybody else with any questions or comments or concerns before we get on out of here and get ready to listen to this Khalil Blakey, for today, listen to him. I mean, I promise y'all, if y'all didn't plan on listening to Khalil, you might want to get on there because Khalil was one of the realest. So any questions, comments, or concerns? Yeah, one of my top 5 too. I don't see nothing.
Hey, yeah, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Montreal Baker. Been in the business about 8 months now. Just not hit supervisor recently. Part of the starting team, Herb Hero, that little whole deal. I just want to thank all y'all, for y'all time. All y'all told some real good stuff, real good motivation. And I just want to, let y'all know I appreciate that, that was some real good stuff.
I definitely appreciate that. That's the kind of shares that I be liking. Just, people who are appreciative of the time that we take. I appreciate that, young fella.
Yeah.
And congratulations on Supervisor. Now it's time to turn up.
Turn up.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna look back.
Absolutely. Ain't no point. Appreciate you. All right. Anybody else with anything before we get off of here? Anybody? I did remember to record it, so I will post a call for anybody I know Super gonna want to check it out and nitpick and call me on stuff that's whatever he gonna do. I'll take it, whatever. But cool. If nobody has anything, I definitely appreciate everybody for staying committed and getting on the call. And as always, what I will do is unmute it, and everybody can say goodbye.
Thank you,
All right,
Stephen.
so, hey, thanks, guys. We appreciate the host.
All right, y'all.